suing the TrillerTV streaming app and its parent company, and the details about this are actually pretty damn insane. Now, if you guys didn't know, according to a new lawsuit filed in the state of Florida, AEW is suing TrillerTV for missing payments up to $5 million for pay-per-view proceeds and other profits. AEW's lawsuit was filed on April 29th in Duval County in Florida, and the legal complaint alleges that TrillerTV used AEW funds to other businesses, including a social media platform that never took off, rather than paying AEW what it was.
Update on the $5 million AEW lawsuit. Tony Khan didn't just get shorted on pay-per-view money. Reports now show Triller allegedly took AEW's cash to fund a failed social media app. Even worse, TrillerTV is claiming they are completely insolvent and have been abandoned by their parent company, meaning they literally cannot pay their debts. AEW is demanding that $5 million plus interest, but with Triller facing bankruptcy, this could be a massive blow. Who do you think wins this court battle? Let us know.
So, guys, we're going to talk about AEW and their lawsuit against TrillerTV. So, when you guys watch Double or Nothing in 2024, last year, or in this upcoming one, where did you watch it? Did you watch it on TV, HBO Max? Did you watch it on TrillerTV, like right here? It's available on TrillerTV, by the way. The last pay-per-view being Dynasty of this year on April 13th. Did you sit in your couch, snacks ready, thinking you were supporting the wrestlers you love and the wrestling company you love if you watched it through TrillerTV? Well, unfortunately, I have to tell you, you were just a transaction. You were a line item because the money you spent for this event, although you got it and you got what you wanted, according to AEW's own attorneys, it never made it to the company. And vice versa, it didn't make it to the wrestlers, the production team, or Tony Khan's bank account. It got burned on a TikTok clone app investment that never launched. What I will give you credit for, at least as fans, you guys showed up thinking you would be given money towards AEW, supporting the product, supporting the brand you love. And for that, I appreciate it. Unfortunately, based on this story, if you were using TrillerTV, that money didn't go to AEW. And then we're going to go through all the information that we have available. And we're going to go over one item before we even finish off. So without further ado, welcome to the Tea Drop. And we're talking about the AEW filing lawsuit that could rip the lid off pay-per-view buy numbers for the first time in company history. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here's obviously the most interesting point that comes to this. AEW is suing TrillerTV for nearly $5 million in overdue payments. April 29, 2026, in Duval County Court, Florida, AEW files a suit against TrillerTV and its parent company, Thriller Group Incorporated. The number on the demand letter, and I want to look into this, is $4,988,989.13. You can round it to $5 million if you want. But anyway, that's what's being shown on the paperwork. And I want to ask you something. How does a streaming partner skip 13 apparent months of payment and would assume this relationship survived? It's crazy, right? Now, here's the part that should make every wrestling fan furious. AEW's attorneys wrote, and I'm quoting verbatim, Thriller Group Incorporated strategy of robbing apparent revenues generated by TrillerTV distribution of AEW content was to cover other of defendants' operating expenses, much of which was spent on the social media platform that they were hoping to develop. Negatively impacted because of that, it negatively impacted its relationship with the payments owed to AEW. Now, what does that all mean? They took the money. They burnt it on a TikTok app that we don't have any information on. It was something they were developing. TrillerTV, the platform, was doing its job. It was just Thriller Group, the parent, that was siphoning the money somewhere else. Now, here's where the lawsuit just made it public for the first time, and the actual splits. When it comes to domestic AEW pay-per-view, AEW gets 75% of net revenue. Internationally, 65%. Now, there's also the AEW Plus subscriptions, which is this one right here. Or that's my AEW.com. Well, regardless, there we go. AEW Plus subscription, that's a 60-40 in AEW's favor. The split was locked in mid-2019. Before that, it was a flat 50-50. And per Thriller's own SEC filing, AEW's content drove 24% of all Thriller Group revenue in 2014. Whatever. At this point, a lot of money is owed to AEW. Now, AEW was the engine for all this revenue, and the engine pretty much didn't get any gas for all these IOUs. They never got all the money back whatsoever, and now they're sitting in a $5 million deficit. But let me ask you something. If TrillerTV stiffed AEW, one of the biggest wrestling clients on that platform as we speak, what do you think happened to everyone else? Well, UXW, which I think is this. Nope. I had another link here, which was UXW. It's a German promotion, just confirmed publicly that they received no payments since October 2025. They haven't received any response to their emails, and they've been sitting on 6 months of silence. GCW promoter Brett Lauderdale talked about TrillerTV's problems as well. And I want you to pay attention to how this goes down. He confirmed that past payment delays, but he said, and I quote, "I remain optimistic that there will be a sale and the company will continue." Well, that's a guy choosing his words like he's still hoping for checks, but I'm really hoping that he really thinks about it, because if AEW is going for that, I would be worried if I was GCW as well. But anyway, where in the world does this end clean for the indies if it's a problem for AEW? Well, weeks before AEW filed, TrillerTV itself thought through its corporate entity, sued its own parent, Thriller Group Inc., in another court. The claim, Thriller Group abandoned TrillerTV, and the big company is called Flips, told the court that the company is insolvent. It lacks a board of directors and it physically cannot file for bankruptcy. All this mumbo jumbo that we don't care about. The bottom line is that TrillerTV is operating right now by a CEO and a president that has no money at this point. And they're soon to be gone as well. But their last day was April 30th. So now they have a company without a CEO or a president. The parent company itself, Thriller Group, got delisted in NASDAQ as well. It got in December, then it got restored on April 15, then issued another delisting notice 2 days later for trading under $1. Stocks closed this past Monday at 26 cents, and I actually have their stock right now. It's at 19. Thriller Group Inc. 19. Do you guys see that? Yeah, you do. 19 cents. Damn. Anyway, now a few things. Yes, AEW got burned, but Tony Khan also saw the iceberg before it hit. Because on March of this year, AEW launched My AEW in partnership with another company. AEW Plus was formally discontinued on TrillerTV's last month, and AEW and Ring of Honor pay-per-views are now gone from the platform. But now, because of the lawsuit, isn't AEW... What this means is that the lawsuit isn't AEW trying to save the relationship. It's AEW collecting what's owed on the way out the door because they're transitioning to My AEW now. They just wanted to wait until this point. Why? Don't know. They should have gone sooner. But let me drop one more hint of information because it sounds eerie familiar. When ECW filed for bankruptcy in April 2001, they owed apparently close to $8 million in unpaid bills. Heyman pointed at In Demand, the cable PPV pay-per-view partner, and said that the platform was withholding money that would have kept ECW alive. Court filings later complicated the narrative, but the shape of it, not really. It's still a wrestling company, a distribution partner, a pile of unpaid invoices, and a body of water. So it's eerie familiar that what is happening right now with TrillerTV is something that happened to ECW back in 2001. And according to Paul Heyman, it's one of the main reasons why they couldn't get checks that they needed to pay for their staff, for their event bookings, and so on and so forth, which led to their collapse. How is this history echoing again? The difference is, though, is that AEW has a war chest, per se. They, unlike ECW of that time, they have lawyers, they have money, and they have an exit strategy for their product, which is gonna be their My AEW app. something ECW would have benefited if they had it back then, but unfortunately they didn't. So where I stand with this is that AEW didn't get robbed by a streaming platform, but AEW didn't get robbed by a streaming partner per se. They got robbed by their parent company that treated all their revenue like a piggy bank for something they wanted to do on the side. Now, unfortunately, although the villain of this story is the parent company, TrillerTV is going to get all the heat. Unfortunately, they're going to be villainized, and that's the story of that. What I will give credit for is that AEW's legal team didn't settle out quiet. They're trying to fight it all out. Hopefully, they may not get all this money. They might get some, I don't know. But they'll probably want to use it to help invest on this My AEW company. I really hope so. I mean, I'm hoping the best. More importantly, in my opinion, though, I really hope more than AEW getting it. Like if AEW gets it, I'm hoping the smaller promotions get it, or any other company that's in there, because it's not just wrestling companies in this Thriller TV. There's also other sporting events. Like I'm assuming this is sumo. They have card things, they have robot battles, they have other sporting events. They have a lot of different content. All this, for the most part, is paid for. Some are free, like the primetime, this thing is for free, but everything else is paid. So I'm hoping all these companies that are in this gets what they're owed. But we will have to find out. But anyway, let me ask you 3 things, and you can drop it down in the comments. Does this case settle before the Discovery merger, or do we finally see the pay-per-view buys for AEW? 2, is Thriller TV salvageable after all this, or is this brand done? 3, which indie promotion hopefully gets paid first when all this is settled, and which one is gonna eat the. Let me know in the comments. As always, if the tea hit right, hit the like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.